Muted.
Everyone, I want to thank you for joining us today for our webinar on the FEMA Map Service Center. My name is Samantha. I am the flood insurance trainer, and I am joined today with Shaib. He is one of our customer service reps. You have probably talked to him on chat multiple times, but he will be manning the chat for me today. So if you have any questions at any time during the webinar, by all means, please ask the question through the chat, and we'll go ahead and get that answered. We're also going to have a Q&A at the end of the session. So if you want to hold your questions till then, that's fine. If not, you can ask them during the session. Okay, today, like I said, we are going to be going over the FEMA Map Service Center. This website can sometimes be scary, but it's not as scary as everyone thinks. And it does have a really good amount of information in there and holds a great value of information in the system. So I think once we go through this, you'll be feel more comfortable for it. Now, you can access the FEMA Map Service Center by going to FEMA.gov, and then in the search field, typing in MSC, and I'll show you how that would work on our end. So once you go to the FEMA.gov, you're just going to go to the search field on the left-hand side, and you can just type in MSC. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So when you type in the MSC, and this is what will come up. So the first one you see is the FEMA Map Service Center, and it says welcome. So you can go ahead and click on that, and it will pull you right into the FEMA Map Service Center and allow you to start doing your search. Now there's several ways that you can search. You can go in right in and just put in the property address, or if you know you're doing a historical map and you have more information and you just want to search it through this way, you can click on search all products, and if you have the state that you're in or the property that you're looking for, you have to give the website a minute. It takes a minute for it to update. And then you have to just go in and select your county, and then you'll select your community. Now today we are going to be looking at the community in our office and actually use our office address as our example for searching for information. So our office is located in the community of the city of St. Petersburg. So once you get all this information in, you can hit search. If you had a jurisdiction name or a FEMA ID number, which is normally the community number, you can just put that information in there and then go ahead and hit your search button. Or if you had a product ID, like such as, for example, you had the panel number that you're looking for on the old map. So if you contacted the city and the city said that it's located on this map panel with this suffix, and then they gave you the mapping information on that letter, but you wanted to see the map, you could put the product ID, which would be the map panel, and suffix right in here into the product ID box. Or if you had like a letter of map amendment, map revision, or if you had any kind of letter, like a letter of determination review, any of that information, if you had that number, you could put it in this product box and it would pull it right up for you. Now I'm going to show you in a moment too how else you can also pull that information. But any of this information that you fill out, once you fill it out, you can go ahead and hit search, and then it'll come up. The FEMA Map Service Center website is a little slow because there is a lot of information on it, so it's feeding it or feeling its way through all that and feeding it through. So it just take a minute or two just for it to pop up. So as you can see, it doesn't take that long. But here, if you do it this way, just is showing you the effective products, your pending products, so any products that are in review, and any historical products. Now I'm going to go through another way now, and I'm going to show you how you can pull it up a different way. This way that I'm about to show you is how I recommend that you pull this information up, and that is simply by putting the address in this box. Oops. Let me try that again. 33716. So as you can see, if you don't put in the full address, the map down here doesn't pull anything up. So you do have to put everything, including the zip code, into the system, and then you will just hit search. And as you can see, what comes up is that you see your current mapping information that you're looking at. You can see where you can view your map. You can download the map and save it. There is an interactive map. You can search all products in this area here. And then here's your information regarding revisions, amendments, or revalidations for your area. Now the big thing here is this map. Okay, this map is actually pinpointing where the property is located at. So you do have this generalized overlay view. You can even do what is a hybrid view or a satellite view, and you'll see the information come up right here. And as you can see, it does mark our building, where we're at and where the property is located, which this will actually help you find the property on the map. Now, I do want to advise that looking at maps, when it comes to the more current maps, you're going to have more opportunity to actually pinpoint the property on it, and it'll be a lot easier for you. So I'm just going to go in and just show you how these products move. So as you can see is that once we put in the address, you do see the search results for the products of the St. Petersburg City of, or the City of St. Petersburg. So this is the name of the community that we're in and that you're seeing. The next information that you see here is your current mapping information. So as you can see, these numbers right here, the 12103C that you see on your screen, those are actually just order numbers from FEMA. So if you were going to order this panel from FEMA or order the map from FEMA, you would have to include those numbers in there. However, the actual only panel number here is the 0207G. So that is the current panel that they're using, and that this map did go in effect on September 3rd of 2003. Okay, so if we go here and we click on View Map, what this does is it opens the map in a new tab, so that way you don't lose your prior tab. And this is what it comes up and looks like. As you can see, it is very tiny. However, we're going to be able to expand this map. So over here, as you can see, here's a generalized overview, so you can see what portion of the map that we are actually currently looking at. And then you have your panel to zoom in. You have your panel, your option to pan, so you can move the map side to side. As you can see, it does retrieve data, so it does take a minute when you move the map around. You have a zoom in feature and a zoom out feature, and then you have a zoom in 1:1. I don't use this feature because it doesn't actually make it a very good functioning map. And then this is max out zoom. It'll max it out to this point to where you're looking at the policy again. And then there's an option to make a ferment. We are going to walk through and show you how to make a ferment in a moment. However, I'm going to show you how we can determine where the property is up on this map. So what I would do is go ahead and just click on zoom in and just put it anywhere on the map. By doing this, as you can see, it's retrieving data and expands the map even further than what you're seeing. You even have this option here for the scale size up at the top if you wanted to scale it that way. I prefer using the buttons because it does make it a little bit easier. So, however, now we're looking at our map. And as you can see, we can see this information. So looking at the information, as you can see, you can zoom in a little bit further. I'll use this zoom. I'm just zooming in here. And as you can see, the map kind of just breaks down. So it does show you the city, the city of St. Petersburg. Here's where the Pinell is incorporated, which is another city in our office in another county. And as you can see, though, if you go through, and I can pull this up a little bit further, the newer maps are quite more efficient than the older ones. These ones you can actually see names like this as Gandy Boulevard. Here is Executive Center Drive. All this information is here, and it is makes it a little bit more easier for you to actually find a property on the map. Okay, now I'm actually going to zoom out, and we're going to go over the other sides of the maps here. Let me blow this up so you can see this side. Now, the side panels on the map, and I do apologize, it is taking a moment. It's running a little slower than usual. As you can see, on the side panel of the map, there's notes to users. It's just basic notes for you to know how to read the map, what the map is intended for. It tells you information at coastal base flood for elevations. It gives you that information there. It goes through for more notes on things to pay attention to on the map. It gives you the information about the base of the map. It gives you information regarding the elevation reference mark. So if the what's used for reference as far as what helped determine the base foot elevations. So that information is there. This also does tell you that the datum that the map is in is North American Vertical Datum of 1988, so it is based on the more recent datum that FEMA is using. So that information is there. And there's a little bit more spot on I'm trying to get there. I apologize. Okay, so it also gives you a datum conversion schematic. It gives you saying what it would be versus what it isn't. And it does give you a basic overview. However, if you are doing a datum conversion, please do not use the information on this map, because even though the information is on the map, it could be slightly off based on the area because it may differ on the same map a little bit. I would go our normal route of doing datum conversions by either going to VertCon. If you're using our website, we do have a feature that will automatically basically do it for you to give you the figures to take from your elevation certificate. Just while we're on the subject of datum conversions, we are currently having the datum conversion webinar also. There are 2 scheduled for next week. If you are interested in that and you do not have a copy of the link, just let us know in chat, and we'll go ahead and make a note to go ahead and get that information out to you so you can sign up for those webinars. And we'll also discuss it later on at the end of this webinar. But that is the information that is on the left side of your map. Now we're going to go ahead and go over to our right side. As I said, with the max out, that's what it does. So I'm going to go over here on the top to our legend for the map. And basically with the legend of the map, it actually tells you what the gray shaded areas are, how to read them, how to use them. Let me see how far this is going to go in. Give me a moment. Okay, as you can see on the left-hand side, as you can see, you have gray areas and you have white areas here. The white areas where you see the X zone, they're referenced here for other areas. But as you can see, it does give you a legend for what the map and what the shaded areas mean, what the lined areas mean, what the white areas mean, polka dotted dash. It all gives you that information here on this side. I'm trying to get it to come up. It's just not functioning. I do apologize. So if you see any of these areas on the map, that is what they're meaning. They're just telling you like floodway areas, what other flood zones are. So as you can see that little white dot that you saw on the map earlier, it's too far over. I do apologize. I can't show you. That would be other areas that are marked. It'll give you the flood zone in those areas. And anytime that you're looking at a flood zone in the area, you never see like this side right here where it says zone AE, elevation 9. When you're looking at the map, that is your flood zone and your base flood elevation for the area. And you would take this information and it will apply to anything that goes down and to the right. For all the information on maps, always go review from down and to the right to view for that mapping information. Okay, also on this side panel, it does tell you if there's any coastal barrier resources in this area, and this is how they are marked, what boundary divides them, and it gives you more information. Again, it references to the North America Vertical Datum and tells you what your datum is for this map. If this was NGVD, it would say North America Vertical Datum, or North, sorry about that, the North Geodetic Vertical Datum. It will say NGVD there is 1929 instead of the 1988. So that information is there. And this is just basically for you to know how to read the map. Now, the mapping information, anytime that we're getting mapping information in our office, FEMA requires that that map provides the community number of the panel, the map panel effective date, the community number of the panel, the suffix, the map panel effective date, the flood zone, and base flood elevation, if any. Now, if we get a map and it's not complete with this panel, that's not going to have all the information on it that we need. So the panel that is in the bottom right-hand corner of this is the panel that contains all the mapping information regarding the community number panel and suffix and the map panel effective date that we are required to have. So on this panel, you will see that this is the panel 0207G, and that it was effective September 3rd, 2003. We do have to see this with mapping information. And likely for our map, our map does provide us the option to make a ferment. So what we would have to do after we have determined all this information is available is we can go ahead and now try to find our property on our map. Now I'm just going to take a brief pause right here. Does anybody have any questions? Remember, if you have any questions during it, just go ahead and chat them into the chat feature and we'll answer them as we go along. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions coming in so far, so I'm going to go ahead and proceed. So normally when I'm looking at a map, and it's the first time I'm looking at an area, what I try to do is look at this map from FEMA. And then I say, okay, what's my distinguishing features? So the first thing that sticks out on to me is this map is this triangle area here with the roads. So that's the first thing that sticks out to me. So what I then do is go back to my main page and I look at the map. Now this map is able to be moved. Unfortunately, you can't really, you can zoom in, you can zoom out a little bit, but you can't make it any bigger than this box. So as I can see, this is my mapping information right here. And here's the area. Okay, now me being, again, the first thing that I see again is here is this triangle thing. So where the roads go. So this is my triangle. So now I know my property is just to the left and up of that triangle. So now I can go back to my FEMA map and say, oh, okay, so here's my triangle. And if I go up a little bit, there's where my area is. So now that I know where my property is located on my map and I have located it, what we can do is you can either blow it up right here by doing so and just confirming that's approximately where your property is at. If you want to look at it, because like I said, you can come back here, you can scroll into it a little bit more, you can get a better idea of how basically the property is looking right there. And to me that looks approximately the same, so I'm in good condition. Now I know I need to print this map out, but printing the map out like this and actually seeing the information and actually marking the property, it makes it a little difficult. Now you can zoom back out like you would, and then right click, and then you can copy the image from here and then put it in a Word document. It's not going to copy over correctly because of the way the map's set up. You can even try printing this whole page and doing it, but now we can't read our mapping information, so it makes it difficult with the map. However, FEMA came up with a genius idea, and then this is how making a ferment or a flood insurance rate mat et. It's a smaller version of the firm. So if you click on Make a Firm, you can see that your area comes up. You have all your mapping panel information here that is highlighted, and then you have this pink box that's outlined in bright green. So all you have to do now is you just need to take this map, this little area right here, this pink box, and you can move it over to the area where your property is located and drop it. Once you drop it, this is where you're going to do. You're going to hit Adobe PDF. And what the system automatically does is that the system that FEMA created only prints the highlighted area of the map that you put the pink box over, and it automatically prints your panel. So now all you have to do is just mark your property where it's located on the map and send that in to us. Now you have proof that you're mapping information. Now, as I said before, this is showing that it's a zone AE with an elevation of 9. So now I know what my information is, and then at my bottom shows my my map number and my effective date. So now I have everything that FEMA requires to prove my flood zone. So that's how you would make a ferment. Now you can hit save, which this will automatically put it over into a PDF format for you. So you don't have to worry about converting it or nothing. So if you hit save ferment here at the top in the left-hand side, you can go ahead and do that. And then just it'll print it over to PDF for you, and then it'll be done. Now, if you didn't like the way this map came out, you can always hit the back button. When hitting the back button, it does not always work, but sometimes it will. And if you wanted to try to remake the ferment again because you didn't like the way it came out, you can click Make Ferment. You can blow this up, make it a little bit bigger. If you wanted to zoom into that area a little bit more, you got to be a little crafty sometimes. This website can be a little temperamental when you're using it, as you can see right now. And it is pocketing, I apologize. Also, this website does work best in Google Chrome. You can use it in Internet Explorer, but this FEMA site actually works better in Google Chrome. Okay, like I said, it is temperamental, and so basically you would just follow the same steps. You could just blow it up in that area if you wanted to make that area larger, then put the pink box over it, and then hit the Adobe and remake that format to make it look a little different if you wanted to. So there's multiple things you can do, but like I said, the site is temperamental sometimes. So like you can see, you'll clock like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and close these out since we know how to make a format now. Does anybody have any questions regarding the formats or anything? Okay, I'm just going to pause just a few more moments, see if anybody has any of those. Okay, I'm not seeing anything coming in. Now, like I said, these other options that you have is you can save the map, and there is an interactive map. The interactive map does open up into a new tab, as you can see. Oh, and by the way, if you do save the map, it is a very large file, so it does take some time for it to download, and it does take up a lot of space on your computer. If you do want to download them, that's fine. You can save the map, but just remember it will take up a lot of space. Now, this is the FEMA interactive map. There is a lot of good features to this map because it does basically do like an overlay of the map, but it does not provide you any of the mapping information, the flood zone or anything. It looks like they may be maintaining the website. But here we go. Here it comes up. Normally there's waterways marked. For some reason, it's not doing what it's supposed to. It normally carries the address over, but for some reason it didn't in this chance, for some reason. So as you can see, when you put the address in, it'll zoom in on your property. And I am not sure what's going on with the FEMA Map Service Center. There we go. As you can see, it tells you what panel it is on, and I got an error. So let's try this one more time. I do apologize. I was not anticipating this. Let me try it one more time. I'm just going to try this one more time. If it doesn't work this time, I'll just let you know. As you can see, when the map came up earlier, it just gave like a blue area. It's just marking that it's in a special flood hazard area. It will tell you what panel this is on and the date of that panel, but it will not give you any mapping information on it, unfortunately. I'm not sure why it does that. You can add a note to this map if you wanted to keep it for your content. Or you can move it around. It just really does not give you a lot of information on here. It is something if you're just looking to get a basic idea of what it's about. As you can see, this whole area turned up blue. That's because it's all in a special flood hazard area. But it doesn't really overlay very well right now, and it's not cooperating. So I do apologize that the website's not working for that. But that is the interactive map. Now the other options you have are your revisions. So if there was a letter of map amendment or map revision or something in the area, normally it's revisions, which are low MARs, which are a letter of map revisions, which means the entire area or a good portion of that community or that panel was remapped into a different zone because of a study that the city requested. Those would show up here. For us right here in our panel, the city of St. Petersburg does not have any revisions. However, there are several amendments, which means that these are private owners of properties who applied with FEMA for a letter of map amendment because they thought that their area was in a non-special flood hazard area. So they applied with FEMA and they were actually granted the LOMA. And as you can see, this one is for an apartment complex and just right down the road from our office actually. And as you can see, they applied for a LOMA and they were granted the LOMA. So all these properties and all these buildings for this community were taken out. As you can see, it does here say it was effective on March 4th of 2004. Now, this is after our map currently, but if this was prior to that, this LOMA would no longer be in effect if, say, we had a map revision in 2005. However, it may be able to be used for grandfathering, and we will be having grandfathering classes in May, just so you know. As you can see here, we do have one revalidation. So when we look at this, it does tell us that there was a letter of map revision done in the area. It was originally done, it's not giving me the original date. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it is saying that this was revalidated after the map. As you see, it was September 4th, 2003. Our map went in effect September 3rd, 2003. So this letter of map revision was done for an area and was revalidated after the map. The only thing with revalidations and the way LOMARs used to work is that they only gave you the legal description. So if the property was located on this LOMAR, we would need something linking the legal description to the property address to apply this LOMAR to the policy. However, you may have some luck, and it may be able to assist the insured with a cheaper premium. Okay, so that's the basic information there regarding letter of map amendments or map revisions. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, I'm just going to pause just for a few moments to give anybody a chance to ask any questions. All right, I do not see any questions coming through, so I'm going to go ahead and just proceed. This is the last section of this that we're going to go over. However, it's probably one of the more important ones, and this is probably why you normally go to the Map Service Center. It is going to be our area of historical maps and how to pull them. So how we access the historical maps through this feature, since we did put our address in and then hit search, is that you're going to see this option here that says search all products for this area. So you just click on that. Give me one moment because the FEMA website just did something and I'm not sure what it did. So let me try to get in there again, see if it's going to let me. So let's try this. Let's see if this will work. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and not sure what FEMA's website is doing. Okay, so now we're back where we were before. So once you type in the address, you do have the same information we just went over. But to get to access the historical products, you're just going to click on Show All Products for this area. It's kind of opening everything up in a weird format, and I do not know what's going on with the FEMA website. I do apologize. However, down here, you can see the information here where it says effective products, and it's going through the firm and the panel. Let me try to refresh this to see if I can get it to pull it up the way it's supposed to. Okay. So FEMA's website is going through something right now, and I do apologize, so you're not getting the full effect on actually how it will look. However, I can still walk us through on this so you can see what it actually looks like. So as you can see, this is under affected products. So anything that says affected products logically is our most recent firm panel. So if we were to click on here, and no, it's not going to let me view them. And it's not showing me the historic maps either. Preliminary SIS. Oh, here we go. Here's our historic products. So as you can see, I'm just going to go over the basic areas and I'll highlight them. Now, when you actually go into this, it is going to act a little different. Let me just try this one more time another way. I really want you guys to see it, and I do apologize this is happening. Let me go in the other way and see if it's going to pull it up that way. I do apologize if the FEMA website is doing that. It normally functions well. It's just normally just a little slow. All right, I do apologize for that. Okay, I was able to go ahead and get it pulled up the other way, like I had showed you at the beginning on how to get into this information. And it's actually showing me this information now. As you can see, it is still clocking. I do apologize for that. I'm not sure what's going on with the FEMA website. It's not a website that we maintain. It is maintained by FEMA. So I'm not sure what's going on with their website right now. So but at least we can see the information and how it comes up. So once you type in your information, or if you click on that from the address where you put in the address and you click on search all products, this is how the page would actually pull up, and you would see this information here. So as you can see, we have the affected products, which are your maps that are currently in force. You have preliminary products, and if you were to drop this down and if there was anything here, you would see that it was a preliminary, there's a map that's coming up and that they're searching for. So you see firm panels that may be changing here, or your flood insurance rate maps. They're known as firms. Those will be changing on those panels, and sometimes they will give you that information. You can pull up information regarding the FIS reports or the flood insurance study reports, is what that stands for. If there's any preliminary firm database information that's changing regarding, it's the database that they use to determine the flood zone information, that information will show there too. It's the same thing with pending products. Any firms that are pending processing FIS reports, a letter of map changes, and firm databases. You also have the historic products, which is what we're going to go into, and then there's other flood risk products, which that will go into, and that you can go over that. These are very rarely used and nothing that we would actually use for rating, but the historic maps are actually quite valuable. So as you can see, you have your firm panel for the historic maps, your FIS report, and your LOMA. So if we click on the firm panels, for some reason they are not coming up. I do apologize. But it is not going to let me show you guys how to do the historic maps, and I do apologize. However, they work just like our regular maps do, so you find them the same way. The only thing is that the mapping information sometimes will be a little bit slower, and there's less information on the map, so it may prove a little bit harder to actually pull up a map and actually find the property. You may have to go to some older forms of finding them. A lot of times you can contact the city, and the city can help you find that product. And at any point in time that you need help finding that information or going through that information, by all means, you can always call our office. The number is 866-365-6335. and one of our associates would be more than happy to walk you through the mapping information. You can use our chat feature also. However, due to the detailed information that would have to be there and the things that would have to be communicated with asking you more information about the map in the area, you may want to call us in for that information. Okay. And bear with me for one moment. I'm going to see if I can get this map up one more time. I'm going to try it through Internet Explorer. It's just going to be a moment. So I really want everybody to see that information. I just came up another way. So I'm going to try this over here. Normally it does work better in Google Chrome. It could just be, and I do apologize for the technical difficulty. Just give me another moment. We're going to see how it works. And yeah, it's not going to come up. I can't click on any of the maps over here, and I do apologize. So I can't show you the historical map. But the historical maps you do the same way. And a lot of times, I'm just going to go in here as an example for the map that we saw originally the first time. There's no difference in the side panels, and there's no difference at all in those. They may contain a different information, but on the most part, they're going to be all the same. And they're not going to be any different. Your community number, your panel, and all that, your panel for the map is always going to be on the right-hand side in the bottom right-hand corner. And then your map information, your map may look a little bit different. It may not have as many distinguishing features for the map, but it will be there. So you will see that information. A lot of times you do not have the option to make a format. So what you may have to do in those cases are to go ahead and pull the panel up. And just blow that up as much as you can to the mapping information is there. And you can print this page through this feature here and just print that box there. And then once you find your property on the map, okay, so since we just as an example, this is where you found your property is on the map, and you can print it there, and then just put the two of those together and send those to us, and we'll be able to go ahead and do that. And again, I do apologize that that historical mapping information is not coming up. I do not know what's going on with the FEMA website. I wish it was working correctly. It was working earlier. I do apologize that this has happened. But that is basically how you work the FEMA Map Service Center. Is there any questions regarding the FEMA Map Service Center and how to access the information on there? So while we're waiting for questions to come through, just so you know that we do have a data conversion class or webinar. There are 2 of them scheduled next week. If you are interested in that and you have not been able to sign up or have not received a request to sign up for those, please go ahead and let us know now in the chat box, and we'll go ahead and send you those invitations out to assume the data conversion class. At the beginning of May, or I'm sorry, at the end of April, you should be receiving an email letting you know about our grandfathering classes, our webinars that will be happening in May. May is our grandfathering month, so we will have several sessions going over grandfathering, what grandfathering is used for, when can you grandfather, and what documentation is needed. Also, we have a new feature coming through on the 14th of April. Data conversions online will be made easy by one click of a button, and then you just have to apply the information to your Section C of your elevation certificate. So look for that coming out, and we'll also go over that feature in the webinars next week. Does anybody have any questions at all? Again, I want to apologize. I know I said it multiple times already. I do apologize that the MAP Service Center is not cooperating. It is the only website that you can really pull this information up and use. It is the official FEMA website. I'm not sure what happened. It was working right before the webinar. I went in and double checked it, but for some reason, I'm not sure what happened. I've checked both Internet Explorer and Google Chrome, but I do apologize it's happened. And again, if you have any questions whenever you are doing a data conversion, or not a data conversion, but pulling maps off the MAP Service Center or verifying information, you want to verify the mapping information through the MAP Service Center, by all means, please give our office a call. We'll be happy to help you with that and walk you through and pulling that information and getting that information updated for you. Okay. I'm still not seeing any questions coming through. So at the end of this webinar, there is going to be an evaluation. Can you please fill out that evaluation so that way we know how we can improve? We cannot improve our process or our information that we provide without your assistance of telling us how we can improve. Please let us know if you enjoyed this webinar, or if you're looking for anything other, more webinars or what webinars you are interested. You can put that information in there. If there is particular webinars that you are looking for, you can always contact your RSM for your area or your marketing representative, and they'll be able to get that information relayed to me, and I can go ahead and get webinars set up or get with you personally to go over the information and see how we can assist you with the information you're looking for. Okay, we're just going to pause this for a few more moments to give anybody any time to ask any questions. All right, well, I just want to go ahead and thank everybody for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. Again, if you have any questions, please just let us know. Please contact our office. We'll help you in any way we can. And if you can please complete that evaluation at the end of this webinar, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.